This is Fitness Blender's Pilates butt and thigh workout. In this workout, we're going to be going through one round of our Pilates exercises, plus a warm-up and a cool-down for a total of 13 minutes. Now, this workout doesn't require any equipment except for an optional exercise mat, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be doing our warm-up from a standing position, so if you're not already, go ahead and stand up and get ready for our first exercise, marching in place plus an arm stretch. Starting off with a really small range of motion with those steps. Just bring that knee up just a tiny bit. You want to warm up that knee joint and that hip joint just a little bit. Those arms, you want a nice big full stretch over top of your head. Keep that elbow soft, but keep that arm straight. Nice long motion over top of your head, stretching over your head, and then slowly back down in front of your body, crossing those hands slightly, and then coming right back up. Just make sure you alternate which hand comes in front. We're going to switch to the lunge with a reach next. It's an alternating lunge, and start it up. Go ahead and step out with that left leg, 2 sweeping arm motions, then alternate legs, again 2 sweeping arm motions, switching it back and forth between those feet. Concentrate on a good reach forward with those arms, crossing those hands one on top of each other, making sure you alternate which one's on top every single time. Also concentrate on getting a really good stretch back with those arms. You want to lead with those elbows, squeezing those arms back behind you. Try to get as much range of motion out of those arms as you can. We're going to switch to the side lunge stretch next. And go ahead and switch it up. Bring those feet about twice to 3 times shoulder width apart. Just going to lunge sideways. Just slowly pulsing on each side and back. Now you can place those hands up on those thighs if you'd like for a little extra support, make it a little bit easier for you. Remember, this is just a warm-up. You're not really trying to kill yourself on this one, so if you want that support there, that's perfectly fine. Get those hands in there, start working down to that ankle if you want to. Start stretching that opposite hand down to that outside foot. Just back and forth, nice slow motion. We're going to switch to the toe touch circles next. And switch it up. Hands straight up over top of your head. Nice big sweeping motion. Big circle with that torso. Down to those toes. Up across the side. Back up to a full extension. And back down. Now, if you want to, you can focus on trying to rotate that torso just a little bit like Kelly's doing here. Just make sure you're trying to keep those hips facing forward the entire time. You can rotate those shoulders off as much as you can, trying to open that chest up to one wall or the other. But try to keep those hips facing forward so you get as much out of that torso as you can. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and grab your mat. We're moving on to the Pilates portion of this workout. We're going to be starting kneeling on that mat. First exercise being the kneeling leg raises. So come up onto those elbows and knees. Bring that left leg back behind you. Slightly bending that knee as you bring it down, and then squeeze it back up behind you to a full extension. Nice tight squeeze in that butt. Then slowly bring that knee back down. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Keep that core nice and tight. Those abdominal muscles, those obliques, and that lower back all nice and tight. Just nice controlled slow motion. We're almost done. We're going to switch to a single leg pulse. So stay on that same leg. You're going to bring it all the way up to the top of that range of motion. Just a couple of inches, the very top of that range of motion. Nice tight squeeze. Just keep it going. Constantly contracting that butt muscle. Getting those thighs, that quadricep and that hamstring nice and contracted, working against each other, as well as keeping all those core muscles nice and tight. Almost done, just a few seconds left. Keep squeezing that leg up there nice and tight. Get a tight squeeze in that butt. We're going to switch to the other leg here in just a couple seconds. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and switch over to that right leg. Bring that right leg all the way up. Nice full extension to the top. Then bend that knee as you tuck it underneath you. Remember, every single time that leg comes up, get a nice tight squeeze on that butt, but make sure you don't let those hips kick. You want to try to keep a nice flat back the entire time. Now you've got just about 10 seconds left till we switch those pulses. Make sure you're getting a really tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion every single time. Nice tight core muscles. And switch it up. Keep that leg up there nice and high. Short pulses at the very top of that range of motion. Tight squeeze every single time. Make sure you're contracting that quadricep, the front of that thigh, that hamstring, the back of that thigh, working against each other. Keeping that leg nice and tight. Also focusing on keeping those core muscles nice and solid, those abdominal muscles, those obliques, and that lower back, everything nice and contracted. Contracting those chest muscles as well, those shoulders, those arms, everything nice and solid. Get a little bit more of a calorie burn. All right, we're going to be moving on to the knee tuck with a 45-degree angle leg raise. So starting with that left leg, you're going to tuck it behind your right leg and then kick that leg out to a 45-degree angle off of your body. Nice full extension, tight squeeze in that butt. Then bring that knee back behind you again. Just keep alternating back and forth. Nice, slow, fluid motion. Tight squeeze, pulling that leg in behind you, and then a full extension with a tight squeeze in that butt, extending that leg up. Try to keep those hips stationary. Try not to let them rock open. Try to keep that torso nice and straight. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Go ahead and switch that leg over. That right leg this time, tucking behind your left side, and then extending it up again to that 45-degree angle up away from you. Just keep focusing on keeping those hips as stationary as you can, getting a full extension on that leg, nice tight squeeze in that butt, as well as getting a nice tight squeeze, pulling that leg back behind you every single time. Keep those core muscles nice and solid, those upper body muscles nice and solid, trying to get as much of a calorie burn out of this as you can. We're almost done. We're going to switch to the reverse leg lift circles next. Back that left leg, kick that leg straight up back behind you, do a nice big circle about 12 inches to 24 inches across. Nice big fluid circle, keep that leg completely contracted. You want to keep that thigh contracted nice and tight so that leg stays straight. Let's go ahead and switch directions, bring that leg back around the opposite direction of that circle. Still keeping about the same distance, same diameter, about 12 to 24 inches. Nice solid leg, keeping that leg perfectly straight. We're going to switch sides. And go ahead and switch it up. Bring that right leg out. Full extension on that leg again. Same thing, 12 to 24 inches. Nice fluid motion. Trying to get that tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion. Trying to keep that leg completely solid, nice and straight. Contracting that thigh and that hamstring against each other to keep that leg out solid. Go ahead and switch directions on that circle. Keep that leg going. Nice tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion every single time. We're almost done. And just 5 seconds left until we switch to the reverse lift leg extension. And switch it up. We're going to be starting on that left leg first. So kind of bring that left leg up in the air. Try to keep a nice straight line from your shoulder to your knee. You're going to be up on your hands for this one. Tuck that heel into your butt nice and tight, and then extend that leg back out, full extension, before bringing that heel right back in again. You want to be working against yourself with that quadricep, the front of that thigh, and that hamstring, the back of that thigh. Constantly working against yourself as you squeeze that heel in and back out. Just keep checking that back. Try to keep a nice straight line from your shoulder to your hip. Nice contracted core. And go ahead and switch sides. Bring that right leg up. Same exact motion. Remember, nice straight line from shoulder to knee, shoulder to hip. Pulling that heel in nice and tight, and then extending it right back out. We're almost done. Just about 10 seconds left. Nice tight squeeze, pulling that heel into your butt. Make sure you're working against yourself. We're moving to the knee tuck plus a lift next. And switch it. And go ahead and bring that left leg up. Bring that knee to your elbow. Extend that leg back behind you. Nice full extension. Slowly tucking that knee back in every single time. You want to get a nice contraction to those abdominal muscles, to that oblique as you pull that left knee to your left elbow. Then a good full extension and contraction on that butt as you extend that leg back out behind you. Just keep moving it back and forth. You got a few seconds left till we switch sides. Almost done. And let it relax. Go ahead and switch over to that right leg. Same thing. Bring that right knee to right elbow. And then extend that right leg up back behind you. Nice full extension. Squeezing that butt. Contracting that thigh nice and tight before you pull that knee right back in again. Make sure you're getting a nice tight contraction on those abdominal muscles and that oblique on that right side. Tucking that knee in to your elbow. Get a tight squeeze and extend it out. Just 5 seconds left. You got enough time for one more. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and start our cool down. Lay flat down in your stomach. We're going to start with a quad stretch next. Go ahead and pull that left heel back to your butt as close as is comfortable. Reaching back with that left hand, you're going to pull that heel up just a little bit towards your back. And you want to try to pull that thigh up off the ground as high as you possibly can. You want to try to feel that stretch to the front of your thigh and potentially even into the front of your hip and the lower abdominal muscles. Just go ahead and hold it there for a few more seconds. Remember, trying to keep that thigh up off the ground as high as you can the entire time. 5 more seconds. And go ahead and let that leg relax. We're going to switch over to the other side. Same exact motion, just on the opposite leg. Remember, pull that heel in as close as is comfortable and then lift that thigh up as high as you possibly can to get that stretch to the front of your thigh, front of your hip, and possibly even into the lower part of those abdominal muscles. Just a few seconds left. And let it relax. Go ahead and roll over onto your back. We're going to be doing a deep glute stretch first. Go ahead and bring that right leg to cross over top of that left knee. Grab behind that left thigh. Slowly pull it in. Get a nice deep stretch. You should feel this actually on your right leg rather than on your left. So you should feel it more in the glute and the hip socket of that right leg. Just pull it in as close as comfortable. Breathe normally as best you can. Just slowly trying to pull it in. Just get a little bit more range of motion the entire time. Got just a few seconds left before we switch sides. Almost done. And go ahead and let it switch. That left leg over top of that right. Grabbing kind of that right thigh, pulling that right leg in. You're going to feel it on the left side this time. Deep down into that left glute muscle, into that left hip socket. Just sit there and get comfortable. Nice deep breath in. Try to keep those lungs open the entire time. Almost done. Just a few more seconds. And go ahead and let it relax. We're switching to a torso twist stretch next. That left leg comes across over top of your body, looking across back to the right. Try to keep those shoulders flat against the ground as best you can. The more you keep those shoulders flat against the ground, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in that torso. So really try to focus on getting those shoulders flat against the ground. And just a few more seconds. We're going to switch sides. Almost done. And go ahead and switch it. Bring that right leg across over top of your left, leaning those hips off to the right. Trying to keep those shoulders, again, flat against that mat as best you can. Really try to shove them down flat to get as much of a rotation in that torso, as much of a stretch in that torso as possible. Almost done. Just a few seconds left. Just breathe normally. Nice deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Just don't hold your breath. We're almost done. And go ahead and switch it up to that full body stretch. This is our last stretch of this routine. Stretch those hands and feet in opposite directions. Take a nice deep breath in as you arch that back up a little bit, stretching it out. And then exhale as you slowly let it release. Inhale again, stretching those hands and feet in opposite directions. Just keep cycling back and forth, breathing normally. Again, not holding your breath. Trying to get a nice deep breath in every single time. Really stretching those hands and feet in opposite directions. We're almost done. Just 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. This workout is complete. You just finished one of Fitness Blender's Pilates butt and thigh workouts.